Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the surprise stream. My name is Haunted Goose. Welcome. It's going to be a spicy one today. You guys always crack me up with your votes because I always think it's going to go one way, and then right at the last minute, it goes a completely different way. And thank you guys so much for joining me on this lovely Friday. I'm just going to give everyone a little bit of time. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, basically for uh, my surprise streams, I like to at least run a poll an hour or two before I go live because especially these are like surprise ones because my normal schedule is Monday and Wednesday, so I like to at least give a little bit of notice to my followers, like a little breadcrumb to kind of give them an idea of when the surprises, I guess, coming um, outside of the schedule. And so many of you guys messaged me like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so torn." So apparently a bunch of you guys want to know about like my cringy like notes from high school, but even more of you guys want to know about my scam moment that happened over the weekend. So I'm definitely going to give you guys those details. But even better is that I was contacted by the company once more, and I finally have my hands on the contract, the legendary contract that was promised to me. I want to say like on the day of the interview, so it's been like basically a whole week. Um, that honestly, by the looks of it, well, I don't want to assume because I like to just report on the facts of what happened, and I guess I'll show you guys the contract, and then we can kind of deduce if it was a scam or not. But as always, I made sure to like edit and delete like kind of any specific information. Even I'm clicking back and forth and like making sure that all that information is um, obscured, especially any names. I don't want to call out the specific company just because they did reach out to me and at least, yeah. So from the last stream, at least, we kind of deduced maybe Facebook is not the best environment for procuring a job, but you know, who's to say, especially in this day and age with technology, uh, speeding through and connecting everyone. I think I don't know. It's tough to say because I have some friends who they work online, and so it so happened that a lot of the companies they work for, everybody has a Facebook nowadays. But I think when just as much as it can be a good thing, it can also be a bad. And I think it so happened that I bumped into a very bad. So, okay, so it's 2 o'clock. Yay! So then I can go through the details. Do you guys like my meme? Honest to God, like, I had my interview, right? And I didn't think anything too, well, that's not true because I even said it on my last stream that it was like very fishy. But for whatever reason, this contract was the linchpin of just crazy because for whatever reason, I guess the recruiter or whatever it like felt that they had to go out of their way to make up this contract. This is the only, again, allegedly, because I'm running on suspicion that like this contract was was kind of written in a rush because there's a lot of misspelling, a lot of it is very brief, and just to give you guys at least an example, especially if you guys aren't familiar with employment contracts, I'm actually going to run a comparison from a previous company that I've worked with that I've raved about before called Scammy, and we're going to kind of see a side by side of different employment contracts and at least specifics of what a red flag is and situations that, especially if you're new to teaching or new to working online or anything like that, these are good questions to ask. Now, they're not always going to be red flags. Sometimes it's just that the company is up and starting, they're brand new. Sometimes there's even like just situations that haven't happened within the company, but it's good to ask because um, then you know if it does happen to you specifically, especially as a teacher, like you'll know that you'll have like either an HR department or somebody to back you up and not just like one person, which was kind of like the air I was getting, where this person was not only director of the academy, but was also a recruiter, was also HR, was also in charge of payment. So, yeah, this is where it gets a little bit fishy. So, without further ado, um, well, definitely let me know if I talk too fast, because sometimes when things like this happen, like I get overexcited, I guess, because I think it's so funny when it does happen, and especially that this has been a process of like, I want to say like 2 weeks of this back and forth conversation. I did not add the conversations I had with this person because it's pretty difficult to, especially all of this happened on Facebook. Um, I really didn't want to accidentally like leak their name or leak their company or anything like that, especially I could edit and obscure their name and stuff, but a lot of the topics that they did talk about were, I guess, sensitive to the specifics of how they run things, so I didn't want that to be like without context. It's kind of, I'd be deleting a lot of things or like editing a lot of things, so I'll just look at my messages and kind of comment on what happened. So basically, if you're new to the story and you're not sure what's going on and you're just laughing at the meme, um, basically I had this interview because I teach online. Not only do like I stream, I'm an artist, but I'm also a teacher, and I also one of the things I started out doing early in my career was teach English in Japan and then branch out to teaching online. And I did that for a couple of years up until I went stateside and became a behavioral therapist. But I'm kind of in a situation now where I moved back to Japan because of my husband's job. And we're kind of living in a situation where we're in the middle of nowhere and COVID. So basically, I'm an hour away from any viable school. So um, tolls and gas prices aside, it's just not an option for me to teach other than online. So I kind of look towards Facebook, which I know all of you are probably face palming and sighing and be like, really, girl? Like, Facebook, yes, because I don't know. I thought if I could find a recruiter or I can find a possible like school within my district, even I was mostly doing that, especially with the language barrier. I thought it a good idea to just try and find Facebook pages of schools or Google Maps and like research it that way. But anywho, I did find a company. However, upon first, I guess, exchanges, some red flags came up. In summary, like they stuck strictly to Facebook. There was no business email exchange. There was no link to their website. And then I was immediately given an interview. I want to say within 2 days, which isn't bad because especially if they're looking for people, and recruiting, then the speed of it shouldn't be too bad. But it was kind of like the interview date passed and I never heard from them. So that's when I should have been like, my interview was supposed to happen. They're not getting back to me. So this is kind of peculiar. Like there's not like an exchange or anything. So I just kind of chalked it up to, well, we have Golden Week here in Japan. So it's kind of a week of vacation, and there's a lot more nuance to that. Like, it's not just a vacation time, it's an actual holiday, but a lot of businesses are closed for that week for families to get together and celebrate. So I assumed probably I gave the company the benefit of the doubt that, they scheduled me during holiday hours and then they forgot something got like, lost in translation and they forgot about my interview. So after the Golden Week weekend, then I go, oh, okay, hi, remember me? You guys told me I had an interview. The day passed and I've heard nothing. And basically, they backpedaled and say, oh, yes, yes, we'll give you the interview. We're so sorry. We were closed for Golden Week, but we'll schedule you in basically this coming weekend, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So fast forward through the most awkward interview. If you guys want more details on that, you can hear you can hear the story in the previous stream. But let's just say the interview went um, like really quickly, and they basically dumped me like in a virtual classroom without any with the teacher and student having like little to no knowledge that I was there observing them, which felt super awkward. And like I basically left that. So basically the whole interview and observation, I guess, happened through Zoom. So I basically was like, hey, I have a doctor's appointment, I gotta go. Because it was at least very the most awkward 20 minutes of my life. And so I hung up and was asked immediately after I hung up to provide a picture and a bio of, like, basically my tutoring experience and teaching experience and whatever, to kind of show to students, to kind of sell my lessons, I guess. Um, I did not do that. So that's probably one of five red flags. Do not do anything for the company. I guess if I could write down lesson number one here over the picture, do not um, provide anything until you, number one, see a contract, two, agree on a date, and at least three, sign, like you're comfortable to sign a contract, right? So for all of employment things, you're not volunteering, you're not let's say, as even if you're the most inexperienced teacher or the most inexperienced person within your company or for whatever profession you're gonna do, by the end of it, that is your image and that's your yeah, I would just even say just your image and your professionalism that they are potentially using to like basically fish uh students, to attract students onto their company, and you haven't signed anything. You haven't even, seen their classrooms, like how even seen other people. So do not do that. Don't provide your image and don't provide really the only thing like especially interview wise that if you feel comfortable about is possibly a contact email, contact phone number, and your credentials. That's it. That's really all you owe them because they're still, in the interviewing phase, but you're not guaranteed at least a paycheck within your working hours and your contract and all that stuff. So that's what I say. Like, don't provide them with anything until you get that black and white. Um, no, I haven't, Spee. I got the contract. Hi, Spee. How you doing? No, I got the contract. The same company. It's the same company, I promise. But I hilariously spoke to them today, and I got the contract. So we're gonna go over how crazy the contract is, and you guys tell me if you think this is a scam or not. Now, why the meme is we need $20? Oh yeah, no, totally, totally not. You know why? Because somebody went on Google Docs or on Word Docs and typed in um, basically, you know, art. It does. It looks, if for like the unprepared and for on the surface, it does look pretty legit, you know? But well, we'll deep dive into it, and why I put the like the meme over it was because right after I asked for the contract, it was very much let's say advised that I wire them over $20 as soon as I read and sign the contract, because if you can believe this, Spee, they wanted to check if my bank account worked. So basically, they wanted me, before I even had a day's worth of work, to wire them over $20 from my old from my account to see if their HR department, could. No, what's great is wait till you see this. Oh, but first, be of course, before we even talk about anything, how are you doing? Are you doing well? Are you staying hydrated? It's funny because I actually took a sip of coffee when I asked you about hydration, because before there's a lot to go over today. So I thought I would break the tension. Oh, that's great. So, exciting news is that, well, oh my gosh, there's like so many things happening that, well, I officially opened a PO box, so that's really good. I'm setting up the Patreon, so that's gonna be but like it's technically launched, but like there's only like one tier because I want to set up everything like perfect and nice to officially launch in a month or so. Just because I've had some people reach out that, like they would want kind of like digital commissions or like digital content for a while. So we're gonna like kind of do some fun things, some wallpapers, just because I know some people they actually liked the setup here a little bit. So we're gonna do like all that fun stuff, and I'm most likely gonna that's gonna like influence like the streams from now on. So I'm gonna give you guys like some little breakdowns of like how to do certain digital stuff, and eventually after that, then we can probably do some like mail stuff. That's why I said the thing about the PO box, because we officially have one. So then I can send really fun postcards, and possibly because I have a laminating machine. So probably doing some laminated charms and stuff like that, but that's gonna be down the line. So also I have in my garden, like we're probably gonna go to a store over the weekend, and I'm thinking about growing strawberries. Like from what my neighbor told me a couple of days ago, it's gonna be strawberry seasons here. So I'm super excited because I can probably make jam and stuff. Yeah, I know. I've never made strawberry preserves before, and like I've been looking up recipes and stuff, and they do, and they sell like the jars and stuff. So I'm thinking of just going full Susie like makeover. Like I do, especially I feel like I'm stuck in the house a lot. So since I put up the curtain rods, I think we can graduate to the backyard. Oh, sorry, I didn't know I had so many things going on. Oh, also gonna fix up the setup because the camera's been kind of like on the side a little bit. So we're gonna like probably rotate it a bit, like so I'm gonna have some new content for you guys. And how's the challenge going? Oh no, Spee, what happened? Oh, I also saw that you changed your name back. You're not the Kappa King anymore. I don't know. Something tells me you're gonna like jump on it right back. Something tells me. And two, you gotta protect the carpal tunnel. And you definitely have a future for meme related things. Just because I to this day I tell you like I need to actually show you like the amount of whatchamacallit like stream channels and stuff that reached out because of your meme. Yeah. That's great. Uh oh, okay. Oh, it was. Oh, that makes sense now. My bad. Oh no, I did. I thought it was oh, okay, that makes sense now. I did. I thought for whatever reason it was like where you can edit like your screen name and stuff. Screen name. I mean screen name. Affiliates. Oh my gosh, that took me forever to think of. Yeah, so I got like I want to say 4 or 5 affiliate like requests from your Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. Yeah, it's like too much. It's too much like tape to go through. Well, honestly, like well, they love your stuff, so that's more than like my posts get. It's still it's still it helps the algorithm either way. Like but you know what? It could be like probably the hashtag and then also I think because of the sunset or something, you're trying bots. You're the you're a robo magnet. That's what that is. I mean, honestly, we all have our niche. I don't like, and by the end of it, it's like, I guess that's what it is. It's like, I think because of the picture and the font, it's kind of like, those, I don't know if you know the boss babe hashtag. Like, it's kind of like grind every day, live, laugh, love type of accounts. I think that's probably what they thought it was. Like, it was like some kind of influencer like thing, and so I think that's what it was. Like since yeah, yeah, I think that's okay. So I'm gonna like deep dive into this contract. Oh my god, yeah, that's pretty funny though. Like I think you have a future in just like ironic. You should just make ironic like posts that like don't really have anything to do with grinding or anything, but that's what it looks like. Like exactly like what we learned today, like don't find jobs on Facebook and then it's just this like beautiful sunset with or like a Ferrari, like you just take a picture of like a Ferrari or anything like what those or a watch. I don't know why they always take pictures of watches and I guess because it's like a status symbol. Honestly, if you ever look at those accounts, they make no sense whatsoever. I would be honestly that would be a pretty fun stream if I just go to those accounts and we just like laugh at it for a bit because they don't like I think there was one that I saw where it was like a picture of coffee grounds like like those coffee beans and stuff and then it's like go to sleep like it was like wake up wake up with endurance and like it honestly sounds like somebody put a phrase in Google Translate and it just came out all wrong. And like it's supposed to be very deep and meaningful, but you're just like, what? Like I don't not does not compute, man. Maybe the robots. Maybe it's for the robots. I think. No. But I'm going to go click. Ba 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 ba. So I did leave my. See, this is okay. Sign number one. Okay, here's red flag number one. As far as this totally, yes, I need you to inspect this as a bot expert, as our bot, you know what, Spee, I'm gonna make you our bot expert on this one. So here, oh wait, let me just shrink these. So then Just the chat box doesn't run into. There we go. Yes, yes, you are. I do. You are officially promoted. Spee, I will give you. I can't pay you anything because I'm not making any money, but I'll be happy to. Oh, I can if you ever need it because I used to actually tutor in like I was an English tutor, like one of my first jobs, and it was resume building. So if you ever need a free resume building or cover letter editing, like or reference because honestly, I'm always happy to like send my email or anything like that. Like, got you. So, here, first red flag. Okay, I literally left my name here because this is not my name. My name, I basically referred to myself as my nickname, and they didn't even bother to check if this was my legal name. So, red flag number one of a contract is when the person writing it doesn't even bother to ask your legal name. Number one. So that's a problem. Okay. All right. So obviously, like the red parts, they're the name of the school and the program. Now, something that people may not know, especially when it comes to like online stuff, um, a company can start an online like basically a school, but basically like my this is not my legal name and I've always I basically use this name for like my Facebook and then like literally literally my Instagram and all my socials, but what's funny is that they really took it as face value, you know? I'm surprised they didn't call me Miss Haunted. Like, and okay, so also very important that you not only research the English school itself, but the company that, like, because a lot of times what companies will do is that they'll either put in the money to start an English school, which isn't maybe haunted. Oh my gosh, all day, forever, for eternity. It's like, oh my gosh, that should honestly be in my Q&A. Is it true that you're haunted by the ghosts of my fan fiction past? Um, so yeah, so basically the company itself, I Googled it, nothing came up, which is worrying, right? So the English school does have a website, and that's another thing that I should have asked earlier. Um, that the person who recruited me from their personal Facebook, but not. Yeah. Oh, I never even thought of that. I've only used Bing like once, and honest to God, like nothing came up except for the English school. So that's worrisome when the company, the only thing that's affiliated with it is the actual school. Then my question is why are they two separate entities? You know, because like let's say this company does anything else, or maybe they just, you know, I guess contribute financially to this private school, I guess. But what's worrisome, and we'll see later on, is that down here, where, you know, all I scribbled was that the company was also connected with her name. So, like, where she's seen as director. So, the director of the school is also affiliated with the company, even though the company does not exist. Like there's no, like, that's a little worrisome. So, like, basically, she exists, the school exists, but outside of these two things, like, the company does not exist, according to a couple of searches. So, methinks, and I could be um, very ignorant and like we're basically these, like the company itself doesn't exist outside of her name, and like where she's a one woman show. Like that's literally all I can think about. And it did include an address, but again, when I searched the address, there's no physical building. So my thing is that she is basically running this business from her house or a residence of some sort, and she's basically, for tax purposes, I guess, um, funding, like, or she created this company to fund the school, I guess. I don't know. But all I can say is the company does not exist and there's no building, and she is the only name attached to it other than the school itself, and the school literally has three teachers on its website who have no contact information, so I couldn't even reach out to them, right? Sounds great. Do we have any questions so far? So basically, this school is run by a mysterious company whose only connection is the same woman that's interviewing me, who is the director of the school and also part of HR. Because as we keep reading down through the contract, another red flag, especially to my teaching audience here. Sorry, Spee, if this is probably gonna like bore you to death, like as far as teaching goes. But believe it or not, teaching English is like any other craft. Even though you could be born speaking English, there are rules, there are regulations. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. I was very scared that um, I guess in a lot of ways I take my work really seriously, so I try and liven it up. But when it comes to teaching English, there's a misjudgment a lot of the times where the only requirement that you need is to be born speaking English. And that is not true, because as much as you can have knowledge about something, teaching, especially someone who is not a native speaker, there are skills and there are requirements and there are levels to everything. And if you do not know how to communicate those things, or those goals, or um, to help your students like reach those goals, you are basically wasting your time, and you are going to create an air of frustration not only for yourself but for your students. Um, so the biggest red flag I would want to say is this right here, where it says, you teach English through Zoom, not a problem, to school students. Okay. You create a curriculum up to the goal desired by the student. Now, why is that a problem? You are basically going to be, for a lack of a better term, going to teach English under the eyes of if somebody likes you or not, or if it's not an educational thing anymore. By the end of it, you are catering to a student who does not know the language and seeing if whatever it is that their goal is fathomable, is like, especially as an ESOL teacher, that's a very dangerous area to enter in, especially with adult students, because you're not talking about a lot of the times the basics of a language, or um, like, for example, there's a lot of adult students who will want to come into a class and improve their uh, conversational English, for example, right? So there needs to be a like understanding between the both of you, that there needs to be things like grammar structure, conversational points. This isn't something that can be done overnight, and especially if the student, like, the curriculum is up to you. So that can be very overwhelming for a teacher, especially for a student that has no like blinders on. So, for example, right? Like for all of my artists out there who are interested, let's say, in digital art, right? So imagine if you go to an art teacher and you say, "Hey, I want to learn how to paint. Um, I just want to learn how to paint. Like, teach me and tutor me how to paint." If they don't have a structure or a grid of like what you've learned, the basics, all of that stuff of how to teach you that, they're literally just going to sit down with you and be like, "So, Spee, what is it that you want to learn today? Huh?" And then they just basically like turn the pencil over to you, and you as a student are going to be like, to draw? To I just want to be good. And then as a teacher, if you don't have like let's say a structure or a concept of grammar, a concept of like some sort of grid line of A to B to C, like of like in school, it's gonna get real frustrating real hard, like real fast. So that's dangerous. That is a very dangerous thing because there should be a standard of teaching. Like for example, I'll be happy to pull up on Schema Talk where there are conversational levels for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And the actual website categorizes and assesses those students previous to you teaching them certain skills. And that should be established by the school and by the actual program. And if it is not, then that should be implemented and taught to the teachers. I'm sorry, I got like super preachy there, but professionally, that is the difference between teaching English and taking somebody's money just because I can speak English. Even though I can have a skill in something, there's a responsibility to teach someone else this skill. And if there are not rules and if there's not a certain direction, all I'm doing is just talking to somebody for an hour and hoping that immersion will like there is that old school theory of teaching English where it's like, oh, if I listen to English radio or if I watch a movie, that's called secondhand learning. But I don't think somebody wants to pay $15 an hour. And that's where I also get the scammy vibes from this that um like that I can set my prices however I want. So not only am I charging, and by the way, during the interview, I asked, I was like, what is the minimum that you charge your students? It's $15 an hour, you know, which, I have no qualms about at all. I say, like, teaching is hard, and, by the end of it, that is a service that you're providing to somebody and that somebody willingly pays for. But there's also no grid line as to how many times the student um, is like there's no minimum to how many hours the student can book you. So if a student doesn't have, let's say, the foresight to have had tutoring before, I will tell you now in language just because why I'm serious about it too is because in my past, I've also been like a um, foreign language learner. So I've taken Japanese classes and I've had Japanese tutors, and they have always been extremely professional. They've always been um, very honest with me and being like, hey, don't oversaturate yourself thinking that you're going to um, learn everything in an hour. It's a big investment. And if companies like this don't teach their students that um, there is a right and a wrong way to approach your studies, specifically for them, because everyone is different. And nobody likes to admit that because the more things that you try and the more money you spend and the more hours that you spend with them, it's almost like they're promoting like this environment of, oh, just do whatever you want. Like you're in charge. You're totally in charge of what you bring to the table. But yeah, but how is it that like fine, my curriculum, my student and everything like that, but literally you're not doing anything as a platform. And then at the end of it, at the end of this contract, then you tell me I have to pay you for a free online, like, I can understand if maybe they're the ones who created Zoom, but what really grinds my gears is that, you're telling me that you're not only charging these people, in theory, and not charging me, for a service that's free because and Talk did this too, where um, you use Skype, right, which is a free service, and then you say that well you just take a $20 fee up front, or you teach 3 classes for free, but by the end of it, it's like really what are you providing? You're not providing a curriculum. You're not providing really like fine you can make the claim where it's like you're giving the students like kind of like that service of connecting of like like having the stars align and stuff like that, of connecting teacher to student, but other than that, even it is my job, funny enough, to be the HR department apparently, and by my word, I guess, because if you were to see here in article, let me see. Let me see where I can see about oh, sorry, I was zooming in and out. I'm so sorry if I sound angry or anything. I know that's not something that you guys like sign up for. It's just it gets me really upset that like companies like this, they take advantage of people um like that think, oh, here it is. Um that think that this is normal. Like that this is like, oh, you're American? Oh, yeah, you speak English? Perfect. Here's a student. We're going to charge them most than likely, we charge $15, but God knows what they charge. Oh, yeah. Like I don't mean to like cuz what I get scared is that like, I sound upset and then you guys, sense that. But and here's another red flag. Okay, payment. This is where you have to be as a person because this happens not only in English but with a lot of other online work as well. Um Now, here's another red flag. So we're going to go to article 5, right? The teacher decides the hourly wage for the teacher's work. Okay, so there's no cap. There's no percentage talked about. So, basically if I say I want to be paid $40 an hour, and that's the service that I'm going to provide. I guess they're going to pay in full. And also, we're not even talking about the currency rate. Yeah, just decide, right? Now, Schematalk, for example. Now, I can show you a good example. They give you a range, and what's included in that range is the percentage that they'll take out of the fee. So instead of charging you a flat fee, what they'll do is they say, okay, we recommend you teach a type of class, free conversation, for example, $8 to $10, depending on what you want to charge per class, right? It's kind of like a part of your portfolio. And from that $10, we are going to take 20%, of that for our fee, and we'll pay you at the end of the month. That is that is business sense, and do not fall for this because if they do not give you a flat fee of some sort, it'll pop up later that you will, let's say, if you just say, well, I want to be paid $18 an hour, and I worked for 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the month, you will see, because it's happened to a couple of my friends, that they say, well, we can't really pay you up for that month because you've only taught like 2 students. And they're going to think of something. They're going to be like, well, really, you only worked X amount of hours, so the only thing that we can pay you now is X amount. So next month, we'll pay you what we owe you. Next month rolls around and they say, no, like you only taught these hours and that hours and there's no rollover. And what's funny enough is that you will look um, at the way they communicate these things, because it will, when it comes to Zoom and when it comes to Skype, you'll have a record of it, but it's not a legal record if there's no HR department, or there's no, um, because then it just becomes your word against theirs. Because who's to say that, let's say, username Smiley50 was your student that time, and a screenshot of a Skype conversation is not proof enough to say that you worked for that hour. And that's what I really want to iron out in people's minds, that if you do not have a legal record that is, especially through Zoom, through Skype, that are forms of communication, that you can prove that that other person was in fact your student and not just a random friend, because you're talking about like forms of communication that are like usernames and not using legal names, and there's no verifiable way other than them calling your phone, because there's no third service website to work through. So, like, let's say for Schema Talk, yeah, you use Skype, but you don't book the appointments through Skype. You book the appointment through their website. So, do not fall for this thing, especially when the person is solely using social media. And it's like the same, let's say, the best comparison that I can give you guys is if, um, let's say, okay, I'm here and I'm streaming, right? And I offer my services online, and then I tell you guys to pay me through PayPal, for a commission or something like that. You know, the last thing that you want to do is to pay me directly through PayPal, as a friend or as a family member, because guess what? You can't claim that that refund back if there's not some sort of third party distributor or something like that, because you're directly giving me your money. You see? So when it comes to, companies like this, be very wary when there is no, also when it's supposedly like run by one person. Oh, yeah. Oh, completely. Completely. Especially if, and this is where we can definitely wrap up this, and to like calm everybody's nerves as far as this contract goes. Yeah, with no proof. Uh-huh. And we're gonna seal the deal. And I think this is where we're going to finally come to a great like bow of wrapping up this whole thing. So I'm just going to read it for the dramatic read. The company or teacher may cancel this contract if the other party violates this contract and if it is not corrected, even though it has been notified after a considerable period of time, which, God knows what that means. 1 minute, 5 days, who knows? If the other party falls under any of the following items: lack of respect for student, Article 3 cannot observe. In order to approve the above agreement, each party shall sign and seal 2 copies, da da da. And what's great is that it also says, oh wait, let me see if I can, there was a part, that's what I wanted to read. Um, that, oh man, it was like a part that I read about the company transfer, da, da, da. However, 10th is a holiday, it'd be next. The teacher bears all the costs of the class, which is great. Her internet usage fee, electricity fee, office rent, copy fee. Teachers use digitally, and then company or teachers may cancel this contract if the other party violates and uh, has been notified. But like that's basically what I wanted to say. It's like there's no specific there's no like specific time or warning. Like for example, on Scammy Talk, it was basically yeah, where it's basically like oh okay, this is the second party, this is where it is. Sorry. Second party may immediately cancel this contract without requiring notification or other procedures. So like they can fire you at a moment's notice with like no there's no 2 weeks, there's no nothing. It's literally like they decide it and then it's like there you're fired for because that's why. Yeah, that's a problem when they don't even give you because there's no warning system. Skim and Talk was like that. It's kind of like, oh really? Like yeah, it's very much and this is why guys, contracts are important. It is good to see even by like our rant. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like and it's all there in black and white and you can't complain about it. You know why? Because you signed it. You knew exactly what it was. That is why it's very important to look at everything. And yeah, I think hopefully because of the stream and I'm saving all of the streams and stuff because eventually it's going to be like a Patreon tier where you get to like access all of the streams that are on here because Twitch like erases them, but I've basically recorded all of them like on OBS, so it'll be something like you guys can access, and hopefully this will be one of those that it's going to help people to like really see like the, especially like that whole immediately cancel without requiring notification or other procedures. It's like wow. Yeah. So yeah, basically they right there in the contract it says, well, we're gonna probably ghost you, so don't. Yep. That was the part. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was like on another part of the contract, but yeah, it was right there. So yeah, guys, learn from this. I'm glad at least that we got to learn something today, and you guys got a giggle from this. I'm sorry, I got a little heated. I got very passionate. I get very passionate because I think about. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. Do you want me? I'll send it to you on Instagram, so then you can sign away. Please sign it, Kappa King. It's true. So what are you gonna charge, Spee? Like, what are you thinking your rates as an educator? Especially, no. What's great is that like, oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna like look at the messages. So what's even better is that before the before they sent me the contract, they said, "Good morning. Please correct any incorrect sentences within the contract. Hello, please check our agreements and let me know if you would like me to add more to the contract." Mind you, this was all today, like within a week of um me asking for the contract and then them right after sending it saying, yes, if you would like to add anything or correct any sentences, please let me know. And then me being super sus about that, I was like, yeah, I appreciate it. Can you please send me the name of the school and the website again? And I click on the link of the school. It did not work. And I said, can you please send me another one? Because I'm looking at the messages now and I'm laughing. And they were like, oh, yes, I'm sorry. Like, our website has been down, but here's like the viable link. And then when I click on it, there's pictures of like stock photo pictures. And let me see if I can describe um like the website. So there's stock footage like stock, like kind of like things that you would see on a website, which is like, classroom ones. There's actual photos of like Zoom meetings happening. Um, but what's interesting is that you can actually see the date on the picture. Um, and it's from 2002, which is worrisome of like the screenshot. And what's even more worrisome is when you click on the image and it says it looks like nothing was found at this location. Please try and search another link. So, yeah, guys. Something tells me I think I'm going to be a millionaire. I think my Patreon dreams are finally coming to. Oh, and thank you guys so much because you guys were so sweet, like for my birthday and stuff, where you guys send me like a lot of love here on Twitch, and thank you guys so much. You really made my birthday very special. I know, my goodness, like no, when you look at all the programs, it's really too good to be true. Like I'm really glad though. At least we can like laugh about it. And I don't know when it happened. I was like devastated because I was like, oh, I was so excited to go back to teaching and blah blah blah. But to tell you the truth, like I feel it happened for a reason because now I can talk to you guys and um like make it into something funny and yeah, so what we learned, don't look for jobs on Facebook, guys. Read the contract and don't move a muscle until don't send pictures, don't um don't do anything until you really really use Bing and I've never I know it's so sad. I haven't used Bing like but okay, fine. We'll use Bing instead. Like at least it's better than Facebook. Um Oh my gosh, yes. Yep. Yep. Learn it from Speed that um oh my gosh, it's too funny. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's oh my gosh. So for next stream, more Oh no, was this like the time that you told me about MS Paint? See, I don't know these things because I don't use those things. So I think honestly I don't I automatically think it's good. So cuz I've never used it before. Oh my gosh. See, you get me into trouble, I swear. You know what? Maybe I'll go to like maybe it's something, like how Instagram and Facebook like you like one picture. Yes. Like how when you like a picture of something on Instagram and you see nothing but that thing. So like let's say if you like I don't know, like some sort of picture of a perfume bottle or something and then you go on a different platform and all you see is the perfume or whatever. Like I feel like that's what's going to happen to me and these companies now, like where they're just going to like hunt me down now. And they're going to like try and prove that they're legit but they're not. Like it's like almost like catfishing but for companies. That's why I put we need $20 because that was literally like the back and forth this whole day was like, yeah, 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 but send me $20. Yeah, 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 but send me like $20 though. Like we'll answer your question once you give me the $20. Don't give nobody $20. Oh no. Well, is it helping? I know, to tell you the truth, I was inspired by your memes. That's why I pulled up the picture and I put we need $20 because it reminded me of honestly like your memes make me laugh so much. Really anything that speaks to your heart, anything um like honestly I'm sitting down and I'm figuring out how to put like is vodka made of potatoes? Like I'm trying to how I joked around that I was going to put that on my gravestone. I was thinking of actually drawing a gravestone with a little vodka, like on the side or something. I do. I have a couple ideas, but I'll bore you probably with that on Monday, just because today Today was scammy job contracting. I do. I'll probably I have let me see. I'll show you a little bit of a sneak peek. Um, but just because you guys hopped on here at a good time, let me see if I can. Oh my gosh. So I have. Let me see. So I'm working on. So I'm basically like working on the schedule. So then, uh, basically this week I'm going to think of like designs and like script ideas to like upload videos and stuff, and then most likely my cross fingers launch date like officially for the Patreon will be July 1st. Um, so we will see, but like probably my streams from now on, probably Mondays, it's gonna be like working on uh like my painting stuff, just because I have that library request thing that I still have to work on. And then Wednesdays, you know how we do like digital stuff. So it's probably just gonna be like little sneak peek parts of the Patreon rewards, and then like kind of I've never done this before, so it's kind of scary. But if anything, we'll do like fun polls and stuff too, because you guys are so funny. Oh my gosh. I definitely have to sneak in some like inside joke stuff like into the rewards because I'm like crying. Like, but oh my gosh. But thank you guys so much. I'm so sorry if I'm like cutting any of you guys off now. It's just like like we hit an hour and like literally like my fur babies are like crying um on like behind the door. They're just like, "Please love us, please. We haven't seen you in 4 hours." And it's literally been just one, but they have like separation anxiety, I guess. So I will see you guys on the next stream. I'm not sure when that will be, but thank you guys so much for hearing me rant and rave about my new dream job of becoming an English teacher online, which will earn me millions and millions of dollars because that's how much I charge for my professionalism. Thank you guys so much for everything. Please take it easy. Good luck with everything that you guys are doing. Oh my gosh, it's always so fun. And thank you guys always for popping on. And I'll keep you guys updated with everything so then we can chill out again here for another hour upcoming stream. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.